Hello, I'm Jeff. This is round one. Confessionals live interview, I guess, with Duke. So yeah, the game started. It's been a lot of fun so far. Everybody seems pretty nice and chill. Uh, I don't know. I like this game so far. We crushed round one. Round one was a match game, and we didn't know it, but we had a strategy to win. And we dominated 30-9, so that was pretty fun and led to a stress-free night. So it's nice going into Monday and not have to go to tribal or elimination or whatever they're calling it this year. Um, Everybody seems pretty chill, like I said. I don't know anybody per se, but I knew of Scott from Ecstasy. He played in the season before mine. He was in the viewers lounge for my season. Had some choice comments to say about me and my gameplay, but that was everybody that season. But yeah, Scott's pretty awesome and probably my number one right now. Somebody I'm working with is on my tribe. We won pretty handily, and yeah, pretty much all my cards are in that deck right here with him, and vice versa for now. So yeah, I don't really know where to go from there. So if you have anything you want to ask, I really don't know how to fill in the blank for there.
Yeah, so there's a couple questions that we're going to ask round to round, just so when you go back and look like through the rounds, you kind of see where you were thinking and if you were on the right, right track, I guess. One of the questions is at this moment, like, who do you trust the most? But it seems like you kind of already answered that with Scott.
Yeah.
And on the opposite spectrum, who are you most threatened by, or who do you trust the least, and why?
Let's see. There's a couple people on the radar that I am wary of. I'm not quite scared of anyone yet, but I am very aware of people's pasts, I guess. I had a conversation with Gabe yesterday, and he apparently has heard of me, which I find hilarious that anyone's heard of me because I've only played 2 of these games before. So the fact that people have heard of me is just mind-boggling. But apparently I'm infamous for whatever. But I know that he has played in one power and Jordan runs power, so I know those two know each other, so I'm aware of that relationship. I've heard Jordan's a gamer. Grayson seems like a gamer, so I'm wary of that as well. And on a social threat level, I feel like Stevie and I think Luke is his name. Yeah, those two would be the biggest social threats for right now. So yeah, that's kind of my read on those people. Everybody else seems to be middle of the road / wallflowers for now, but maybe that's just because I haven't talked to them yet. I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's so early and we didn't have to go to elimination, so it's kind of hard to test those bonds when you don't have to test them. So
okay, so having seen how the format basically looks like it's going to be, how there's like a party planner position, and then that person is the one that will be choosing the teams. Is that something that you are interested in going for, or are you gonna shy away from that? And if and why would you do either one?
I would like to have the power just to see what I can do with it. I don't like having my game in other people's hands so much. And to have a little bit more control of the game would be interesting and alluring to me for sure. I guess. Not I guess, but I'm pretty damn sure. Yeah, I'm going to go for it.
So saying you go for it, do you have a strategy in the way that you're going to choose the teams?
Depends on. Those are game time decisions. It really depends on how I feel if and when I do get the power, based on my relationships with the other tribes or challengers, I guess. I would definitely want to favor those that I'm working with, but then put people I'm either unsure of or wary of in a position where I can test their loyalty and or strengths and weaknesses, I guess. I keep saying I guess because I'm unsure because I have to make those decisions in the moment, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. Um, so knowing that, you know, it's not a traditional Survivor format where you can't speak to the other tribe, but you can speak to everybody in this game. How does that change up like your strategy going like throughout this game, do you think?
At first, it poses a little bit of a hurdle just because there's 15 other people to have to communicate with and set up group chats with production. So that's a little tedious. And then trying to remember who you have talked to and who haven't talked to, just to kind of keep that rapport open and that dialogue open, because you don't want to be that person who's like, oh, well, I never really talked to Jeff, or Jeff never opened up to me or never tried. Like, if I go out, it won't be for lack of effort. It'll be because of a disagreement or just a difference of opinion or just differing sides or whatever. But it won't be because I didn't try to make a dialogue. And that's one of my goals, is to kind of like make sure that I have that olive branch out there, at least for everybody in the game that I'm involved with. And having those lines open from the beginning kind of gives the air of there's no excuse on that front, on the social front, for people to not have, the means to reach out and say hello. If you leave me on red, that's on you. And that might be a reason why I target somebody or am targeted. So yeah, I think it makes some things easier, some things harder.
So knowing that there is going to be an elimination tonight, obviously you're safe. Do you have any opinions or feelings on who you would want to leave during the elimination, or are you indifferent on it?
Mostly indifferent, just because like I said, I haven't had as much of an opportunity to talk to the other side as I have with my own side. I do have and have sent some messages to people saying, I hope you're doing all right. Like, I hope you make it through. Kind of put it inception in their mind. Like, I was looking out for them from the other side. Maybe no one else has. And have that as a footnote in somebody's mind so that they don't target me in the future. As of right now, it doesn't really mean, I mean, obviously want some of those that I'm wary of out of the game, but if they can be useful allies moving forward, then that'd be preferable. So right now, I really don't. It sounds so callous to say I really don't care who goes home this round because it's not me. But that's the game. I feel like this mustache is making me seem a little bit more evil than I'm intending to be, but it's my quarantine stash. Like, no one has to see this other than the people in the game and the viewers. I'm sorry, viewers, if you don't like it. I'll cut it off if I go to tribal, I guess. Maybe.
All right. Speaking of elimination, if your squad were to have lost the challenge the other night, what do you what would you like? What would your plan have been moving forward? Have you thought about that at all, or was it kind of like we're just gonna wait and see?
If we had gone to tribal, Scott and I talked about the possibility of, if we lost that challenge, what we would do. I mean, it'd be basic tactics of get the vote off of you, find out who the vote is on, and make sure it stays on somebody that you're not working with or not yourself. But I think if we did have to deliberate between ourselves, I think the easiest vote would have been just either Austin or Jack, just because they were in the tiebreaker round and took 3 rounds. But since it never really came to that, that consideration was out the window because we didn't even need the tiebreaker. And we were pretty confident that we didn't need the tiebreaker. So that was that. I mean, and that's the thing, it's so early on, it's really not much to draw on. It's not like anyone's had a chance to stab anyone in the back yet because it's the first round. So in a game like Match Game, there's really not much to go off of. Now, if we didn't have that strategy, it'd probably come down to who got the most points, who got the least points. But it was kind of hard to tell who got the most points in that game. I think I was in the running for top 3 just because I got that first point, and then whoever got that second point. But we were all on the same page after round 3, so it was really hard to tell who was in the lead because we all did pretty well.
And then another question that we're probably going to be asking round to round is, you can't answer this question with yourself, but other than yourself, who do you think is in the best position? I know it's really early, but who do you think is in the best position and playing the best other than yourself right now?
Probably Scott. Because I can't say myself, he's working with me. So I think that puts him in the best position because I have a good mindset on this game. I think he does as well. And if people pick up on that, then we're in trouble. If they don't, then yeah, I think we can both do pretty well in this game.
All right, and that's all the questions that I have for you, Jeff. If you have anything else, you can go ahead and let it out. If not, I can go ahead and stop the recording for you.
I will say this now as the first confessional. I will have my ups and downs in this game. Everything I say is in jest and for fun and part of the game. Nothing is personal. None of my votes are personal. None of my actions are personal. It's just a game. And I hope to be friends with anyone and everyone seeing this afterwards. So that's it.
All righty, I'm going to stop the recording.